Hi everybody, I'm so glad you're here.
Greetings and welcome to my channel. So today's video is 5 art journal backgrounds made with junk. So here, this first one is made with food packaging. This was for flavored seltzer water, veggie burgers, and I've already torn them up to fit the page. And I'm going to hot glue them on. I think that's just going to be the best way to really stick it on. You probably could also use matte gel medium. That's good for gluing on heavyweight things. But in this case, I prefer the hot glue gun. Now I'm going to add something to this background. It's not just going to be this packaging. This is tricky because it just is running out of glue. And these glue sticks are so long. Okay, I got to get it going again. Okay, now the next step is going to be white gesso. And white gesso will do a good job of knocking this back into the background. And this is Liquitex white gesso. There's these annoying little threads that come from the hot glue gun. And I could leave it like that that's really pretty good coverage there, but a little bit is showing through, which that doesn't bother me. You might want it completely white, then you would dry it and do a second coat. But if some of the packaging letter text is showing through, that's fine with me. I like these ragged, rough edges. And that's the first background done. So you would dry this now before you do another layer or before you start your art journaling. I just want to say, for new art journalers, I'm using an art journal that is made with mixed media paper, meaning it's pretty heavyweight paper. If you are using a journal that has thin paper, I recommend you glue 2 to 3 pages together with just a glue stick to make your pages thicker, to be able to take water mediums better. Because this one is going to be using water medium. So Here is food netting. I bought avocados in them. And I'm going to rip off this green tag, or I might have to cut it off. Okay, now I can open it up better. And I'm going to tack it down. I'm going to tack it down with hot glue gun again. Be super careful with the hot glue gun. I burned myself so many times, so. So this is actually my first time doing this background, and it's an experiment for me also. And I think that's going to work. I've just tacked it down here and there. And the next step is I'm adding modeling paste. It could be texture paste, modeling paste. And there's different size palette knives. I'm going to use this size palette knife, which is kind of wide. I think that would work better than a thinner, a skinnier palette knife. It would work better. So let's try. Oh, it's coming out good. It's all up to you how much texture or modeling paste you're going to use on this. I'm going to get it mostly covered. And I'm wondering if I want to put texture paste just like as a texture here on the rest of the page too. So I just want to tell you, down below is in the description box is the link for the Art and Soul Studio Facebook group. And this is actually a prompt/challenge that we do weekly, every Wednesday. And so everyone is welcome to join this group and share your artwork. And if you're trying any of these projects or create your own backgrounds for this week, you're very welcome to share them in the Facebook group, which I co-host with artist Kylie Coo. Her YouTube channel is Kylie Coo Studio, and I'll link that down below also. We're always looking for new members, and our group is growing, so it's really fun. I'm gonna dry this. Now this is dried, and I also want to show you that for new art journalers, I put drop sheets under here. I just happen to have a sketchbook that has large sketchbook paper like that and a pad that I'm not going to use for drawing. And I put 2 underneath each side, each page I'm working on. Okay, the next thing I'm going to use is Magicals Pigmented Powder by Lindy's, and it's activated by water. When it's activated by water, it's just like pretty much like watercolors, except when it dries with a shimmery sheen because there's mica in it. Mica crystals or mica powder, M-I-C-A. It comes in a set of 5 colors, and my set is Drop Dead Diva. Funny name. Okay, and I'm going to use the 3 cool colors. That's purple, blue, and green. And these powders sometimes have other colors mixed into them. So this one, green, probably has some yellow mixed into it. I mean, it looks so yellow, but when you activate it with water, it's going to turn that shade of green, or maybe, I think it gets darker. I think the colors, I don't know that these labels are so accurate of what color it gets activated in, because they're extremely vivid. When they get activated with water, they're extremely vivid colors. And I'm going to use a dry brush, and I'm going to tap on the powder. And you almost can't even see it, but you're going to really see it once I use my spray mister. Now this is an experiment. I've never done texture paste with food netting like this, so bear with me, please. And I'm just going to try to manipulate the color with the spray mister. Probably not even use any paint brushes. Okay, let's try this color. Oh, a lot blopped on there. Okay. I really like this purplish pink. Oh, I love that turquoise blue too, though. More of the turquoise blue. Now, if you don't have magicals, I have done this in my last art journal video, introducing you or showing you something I did with magicals powder, but not everybody watches all my videos, so this might be an introduction to other people that didn't catch that other video, and you might use watercolors instead. This is a really nice messy background, if that's what you're looking for. Lots of things could be done with that. So I'm going to dry this now, and then I'm going to show you the next shot of this really great shimmery sheen that gets produced on there when it dries. Okay, it's completely dried right now, and I'm going to try to show you shots that show off the shimmery quality of this dried magicals. So I'm really hoping that the camera can catch this. it's showing up in the green areas the best. Let's go down to the pinkish purple areas. And there we do not see the shimmering that much. That's interesting colors there, but it almost turned black. So I hope you could see that because it's really awesome. So now next for the third background. Now for the third background using junk. I cut this rectangle from a regular old brown bag, grocery bag. Okay? Brown bag, regular grocery bag. And now I'm going to crumple it up. And really crumple it a lot. Open it back up. Here I might want to crumple a little bit more because I want a lot of wrinkles. I'm going to use matte gel medium for gluing it on. And I do not want to make this flat, so I'm trying to preserve the wrinkles in it. I'm kind of like pulling on it with my fingers to try to just keep creating wrinkles because I don't want to press this flat. And then using soft pastel chalks, it's up to you what kind of effect you want. If you wanted something like tree bark effect, go over it with a brown. Go over the wrinkles with brown soft pastel chalk. It's going to look just like tree bark. So it depends what effect you want. And I think though that I love how brown and blue go together. And I'm just, in fact, I could show you just after I'm done this. I did do a tiny sample of one that was with brown. And it could be more than one color. It depends what you're going for. I'm just going to use all blue because I love blue and brown together. And you see, I'm going lightly because I just want to touch over the wrinkles. And I know these are loose right here, and I'm not sure if that doesn't bother me or not, if some of these edges are loose. It depends on you whether you really want those edges glued down or not. So not too much chalk in that way. I did that lightly. And then if you have spray fixative, that would be good to spray on this before you go on to doing the rest of your journal page. So even hairspray probably would work, but fixative would be the best choice. But if you don't have fixative, hairspray would be a good choice for fixing the chalk. But let me go get my little sample that I used with the same technique but with brown. So here we have it. You might like that effect. That's brown with a little bit of black on the edges. So here's a close-up. It's really nice texture. Okay, now for beautiful junk background number 4. I've already painted the paper with black gesso and spread out colors I'm using like this with a palette knife. And I'm going to use household items. So a sponge, and maybe you just have a regular kitchen sponge. This is a sea sponge, a regular cardboard tube from paper towels, a corrugated cardboard edge. I'm going to use it for stamping on this side and this side. Any kind of lids. This was an orange juice lid. I'm going to use this for stamping. I could use this side to make solid circles, and I could use this side to make open circles. And bubble wrap. So this is all kinds of junk that you might have around your house. Most of it you would throw away, except maybe not the sponge. So I'm trying to decide what color and which thing will I try first. I like this idea because I just thought of this right now of using this side. I was thinking I was going to use this side, but I like the idea of using this solid side for, okay, let's, cool. Oh yeah, and so it might not be making a perfect circle, like there's texture inside of it. Then I change colors. I'm going to use the other side of the lid. Okay, cool. The other side of the lid, I guess, oh yeah, is just going to give the same circle as that. Okay, how about some bubble wrap now? Change to my third color. And you don't have to use black gesso. That was just my personal choice for today. This could be done on a you could do a watercolor background, a light wash of a watercolor background, and then do this with acrylic. Yeah, I'm using acrylic paints. Oh, this is looking nice. Or you could just use the acrylic paints on white gesso. The cardboard edge with maybe some gold. I'm really liking how it shows up on the black. All these colors, how they show up on the blacks, excellent. And I could use this long edge too, but I'm not going to. I think just the short edge is good. And the sea sponge, and I haven't used the cardboard tube yet, but the cardboard tube would just be making circles just like that, because both of these are practically the same size. And then last we have the sea sponge, or you can use a regular kitchen sponge. And what color? Okay, I think this green, or more of the dark blue. Can't decide. Okay, more of the green. I'd like to know how many of you, here's the question for today, how many of you get indecisive while you're making artwork? And you need feedback, like from somebody else before you do like your next step in your artwork? I ask my husband a lot, like, oh, what do you think? Does this look finished? Or I ask him a lot for feedback. So that's my question to you. You can answer in the comments down below. How many of you struggle with indecisiveness a lot or just a little while you're creating? No, I think that's good. That's good. That's good background. So, and I have extra paint left over. So here is, and I've used some of it. I already cut some out, but this is the reason why they're cut out is because I've used them. But that's scrap paint that I didn't use up in a project, and I don't want to throw it away. So you keep a scrap notebook just for painty papers. And this one's filled up. Oh, do I have some left? Oh, yay, I have some pages left. Okay, so I'll probably be using, I could just smash it down on here like that. If I have to get things out of my way. Makes interesting thing, or paint it on with a paintbrush. Nice. So you fill this whole page. So, and this is what you'd call a painty page. That can be used in backgrounds also. And if I really wanted to be saving a lot of things, I could save this paper plate too, but I don't know. I draw the line on some things. So here, and I would dry this before I close the book. So that's good. Now I didn't waste that. Now I have this to also put in my painty paint book. Okay, I'll see you in a minute for the last but not least, background number 5. We're going to do a pretty unusual junk background using used coffee grounds. Looks like soil or dirt. Used coffee grounds. Now, I've never done this before. And I'm going to use a Liquitex modeling paste. You could also use texture paste. Alright, so with a spoon, because I don't want to contaminate my modeling paste. With a spoon, okay, I'm gonna put some on. I'm gonna start small. Start just with a small area. And let's see, I'm gonna get some more modeling paste on my palette knife. And let's see how I'm gonna do this. I don't know, I haven't done this before. Okay, let's try. So, yep, gonna need more modeling paste, but I'm certainly not gonna dip it in the modeling paste like this, so I'm gonna wipe it off each time. Even like wipe off what I can on the page. And yeah, some more modeling paste. I got some of that worked into the modeling paste. Now I need some more there, but I'm going to wipe it off first with a paper towel because I definitely do not want that in my jar of modeling paste. Guess I need a pretty good sized glob. Alright, it's worked in pretty good. Doing a whole page is going to take a few minutes. Okay, I gotta wipe this off. You know, and I think I might not do the whole page. I mean, it's your personal choice if you want to do the whole page with this particular texture that it creates. You might want to keep this color, but you can. It's also you can, oh yeah, what was I gonna? Yeah, there was a technique I was gonna do. I'm gonna spray this with, after I dry this, I'm gonna spray this with ink sprays. I have the tumbler version. There's so many companies that make ink sprays, but not many artists use this as tie-dye kit. But it's not really just for tie-dyeing. It's used for regular art projects too. And I didn't realize this was going to turn so brown. So you know what? I think I might do half and half. I'm going to, half of it I'm going to a white gesso over top after I dry this, white gesso, and half of it not do that, and see how the sprays react to this color. Or white gesso on one side and clear gesso on this side, and then use the spray inks. Okay, I'll see you back in a minute. Oh, I'm sorry. I started the video and didn't have the camera pointed down. So I had done this off camera by accident. Okay, so this top half was painted with white gesso, the bottom half was painted with clear gesso, and then off camera, because by accident I didn't have the camera turned down, I had already sprayed it with blue turquoise and green. And of course, ink sprays are not going to change the color. I mean, they will of course will not get rid of the brown, but that's just if you want the brown in there. And here you see the gesso did cover the brown. So now, let's say, this time I'm going to try the blue. All right, so thanks for watching me with this. This last one was a real experiment, and I'm gonna dry it, or I'm gonna dry it and then show close-up shots.
So I really like the way these two pages look next to each other. So awesome. So let's just show you some close-up shots of this wonderful texture. And this half is the side that was painted with white gesso and then sprayed with the ink sprays, and this was clear gesso sprayed with the same color ink sprays. But it still works as a page, one page together. It still works as one. So I just want to remind you that this tutorial is, or this video is connected with our Art and Soul Studio Facebook group that I co-host with artist Kylie Coo, and her YouTube channel, it will be linked down below, Kylie Coo Studio, and we both co-host this Facebook group together. Everybody's welcome to join and share and chit-chat about art and have fun. And so I'll see you the next video. Thanks so much for watching.